Lamela had a thigh strain, and he's been overcompensating for that. So now he's got a problem in his back, which we're assessing. So we're not too confident it'll be weeks. We're hoping it's not going to be too long, but certainly won't be back before the European game. It's difficult. It's difficult to adapt to a different country and a different league at the best of times. But when you're having to a different language as well, but when you're suffering these little niggles, and he's picking up something more than minor at the moment, then it is a real disappointment for the lad. But we signed him for the long term, and we're sure that in the end he will come good for Tottenham and be a crowd favourite here.
You've seen enough of him to think that he can be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all big fans of him. When we've seen him in training, it's just, as I say, it's difficult to adjust to a different country as well as a different style of play, and without speaking the language. And I'm sure Erik in time will pick it up. By the time he's fit, I'm sure he's fluent. I would say Newcastle have to consider themselves in it, possibly Southampton. It's Man United for sure. Everyone's waiting for them to come with a rattle on the rails. I can't see that not happening. They will put a run together, Man United, and be right up there. It's enough teams who can beat everyone. We've seen it, but I don't see. We've had a season when there's been so many hammerings, to teams 5, 6, 7s. It doesn't matter who you're playing against; it can happen to anyone. And we've been on the end of it ourselves.
How many points do you think it will take though to get that elusive fourth position?
I know I've never really looked at it. Maths is not my strong point, but I would say that we would need to win. Possibly, you could afford to lose 4 or 5 games, maybe, of what we got left, which would be a huge tally. If you do the sums, you could tell me later.
Potentially 9 wins, you think?
Could well be, yeah, could well be. I mean, no one's dropping points, are they? There's always someone might drop a couple, and then your biggest rival, Liverpool, are flying at the moment. So we're needing them to trip up, that's for sure.
How important is it for the evolution of Tottenham to get that 4th place, especially with players that you can attract in the summertime?
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it, for the club? We all want it, but so do Man United, so do Liverpool, so do Arsenal. There's teams who are up there who are dropping down at the moment, and at the moment our target is 4th place. It always has been, and if we can get higher than that, then great. But it is the target what we're looking for.
There are some big name players in your squad, obviously, who've been here for a couple of seasons, who haven't experienced Champions League football with Tottenham. Is there a fear that if you don't get Champions League football, you may lose the likes, perhaps Ruiz, perhaps Vertonghen, players like that?
Always a risk, but Tottenham is a massive football club, and will always attract the biggest names players. If they're coming here to build and to progress with the side, then they're going to pick Tottenham. There's other clubs where they can go and probably sit on the bench for a long period of time and maybe pick up championship medals, but it's not something I would want to have done.
Is that where your persuasive powers have to come in though? For example, if it wasn't to be top 4 this season, how would you sell the club to them?
I wouldn't. The club sells itself. This is a big club. It's far bigger than any manager. I'm not here making out I'm doing anyone a favour by being Tottenham manager. This is a massive football club, and the players, if they want to come, they'll come. They know full well what we got here, what this club can offer, and if the be-all and end-all is Champions League, and when we're not in it, they have to make a decision.
Just on how you've done, have you surprised yourself about how you started the managerial career here?
No, I never set any targets really. I just wanted to win as many points as I possibly could, and you have to say in the Premier League it's gone reasonably well for me, and I just need to keep it going, because if I don't, I mean, you're only 1 game away from being a disaster at a top 4, top 5 side, as we've seen it. Recently I'm reading about other managers up there, and we're talking about a mini disaster at certain clubs, when they've only lost 2 or 3 games. It's always a hope, but we, as a club like Tottenham, I think you do expect to be in and around that spot. We have done over the past 3 or 4 years, so we have tasted Champions League football. So the expectancy is obviously going to be there with the fans, and rightly so. You know, we have spent a lot of money at the club, but it's fair to say that not every player is settled in. But it takes time. It does take time for them to do that. But we've also got a huge amount of players already at the football club and performing very well.
Have you been given any assurances on your position, depending on the top four?
No. I'm not asking for any either. You know, I just need to get. I've said it previously. I need to get as high up the league as I possibly can, and if my achievements don't match the expectation of the club, then I'll be gone.
You see how sort of Man City, who were seemingly unbeatable, slipped up a little bit in the last week or so. Arsenal at Liverpool on Saturday. With your forward trajectory, and does that give you confidence that that top four place is more achievable than some have been saying is there for Spurs to take?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly looking upwards rather than behind us, but we know that it's going to be tough. And like I mentioned, I think there is teams behind us who are capable of putting a run together and sneaking fourth also. But it's going to go right to the wire. I don't think anything's going to be secured unless it's into the last month of the season, you know.